Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and today I have a very interesting, I wouldn't say spread, but I would say method of reading that I want to show you or share with you or discuss with you, especially in these trying times when we are going through so much, when the world is going through so much. Uh, you know, Many of us, we say, oh, you got the cards for comforting you, and we're like, yes, we do, but how do you use that? How do you use your tarot cards to help you cope with sometimes the negative stuff that is going on in the world around you, in your life, everything? So we're going to look at a few examples and just pull a few cards, and we're going to learn by doing, right? Total Eight of Pentacles. Am I right? So stay tuned and we will start playing with our cards the best way that we can. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, your tarot blogger, deck and book reviewer, and maker of these awesome videos on YouTube. I'm also a tarot card reader and mentor, and an author of this awesome book on tarot, which is available on Amazon, both paperback and Kindle, all over the world. Now, all of these links and more are in the description, so do check that out. And at the end of this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more such awesome tarot videos. Okay, so as you guys saw earlier, I'm going to be using the beautiful deck called This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rothman. And again, if you want to buy this deck, the link is in the video description. And I know the name sounds really, very much in tune or in line with the kind of questions that we're going to look at. Maybe that's what pulled me to this deck. But I love this deck. This deck is really beautiful. And this is the sort of modern Rider-Waite version, I would say, in a certain way. I find the images very relatable, very beautiful, right? Very much something I can I just feel good. I just feel like I connect with this deck. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, we can use the cards to help us cope with difficult situations in our life. And there are all kinds of difficult situations that show up. Like for now, in the world around us, there's this whole pandemic happening and COVID-19 and everything. And many of us are stuck at home, many of us are working from home, many of us don't have a job, many of us there's a whole lot of uncertainty in the air. Biggest problem with empaths is we start feeling down and down and down. I went through that a few weeks ago, and on and off I have to really find a way to again bring myself back into that space where I'm not taking on the burdens of the world and just breaking down and crying. And yes, the economies are slowly, I mean, the governments are opening things up, but I don't think that's going to really help much in terms of the disease situation. But hey, all that, I'm not going to make this a politically, hopefully not getting into that sort of thing, politically colored video. What I'm talking about is how during stressful and difficult times we can actually just ask the cards. Again, personally, I have found that, occasionally if you do have a spread, that helps, that brings structure to your thoughts. Yes, but if, let's say, you just have a simple question in as much as, how do I cope with this, whatever this situation might be, and you pull as many cards as you feel like pulling, and then you just, interpret them. That is also a very lovely sort of way of getting into the spirit of things, really, and understanding what guidance the cards are trying to give you, because you are wholly relying on your intuition to guide you to how many cards you want to pull, right? So let me do a few example spreads. uh so let's, as since we're talking about the COVID situation, let's take one example uh from the COVID situation. I'm just going to randomly pull cards here, okay? So if, let's say, you're going through a really tough time, especially with to do with your work, right? And with your finances and everything during this COVID pandemic. Let's say you want to ask the cards because, that's one stress that you can't magically eliminate. You can't meditate away your financial woes. So let's say you're sitting there and you want to just basically ask the cards, how do I get myself back on track financially, you know, in this whole COVID pandemic? Focus your intent, your questions. You can shuffle if you like. Just focus on the cards. Ask them the question. And whatever your style is, whether you want to make a fan or you just want to start randomly pulling the cards, just pull as many cards as you feel called to pull. And again, how you lay them down, that also depends upon you. Honestly, if you feel like doing something like this, go for it. If you feel like just laying them out in a straight line, go for it. Whatever is sort of coming to you in that moment, just follow that, okay? Whether this layout means something or will mean something, you'll find out, I guess, when you open the cards. So the question was, how do I get myself back on track financially during this epidemic, right? So I just ended up pulling these cards. Let me just open them all at once and we will see. We get the Knight of Cups reversed. We have the Moon card. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. We have the Eight of Wands. And right here is the Knight of Cups. And again, suddenly the shape starts to sort of come together, right? You see, this is what intuition is all about. You stop your mind from telling you what to do, but you just listen to the feelings and you just let them direct your hands in a certain way. So, now this shape makes sense. Does it make sense? You have the fears coming out of the moon, right? But trust your intuition. The moon is also your intuition. The Three of Pentacles, yes, your plans have fallen apart, but maybe now is not the time to make any kind of long-term plans, okay? Emotionally, if you now see this Moon and King of Cups connection, right, and the reverse, especially with that King of Cups, emotionally you are feeling like you're drowning, you're sinking, especially under the weight of the feelings, the emotions, and the confusion and the uncertainty. But it is from here that you will find this Knight of Cups. Slow and steady movement forward, okay? Take things one step at a time. Don't make these kind of long-term plans. And you will see things will start flowing. Once you get back into the flow of things, your money situation will get resolved. So again, practical guidance here is what? Emotional guidance is right here. The practical guidance is don't make any long-term plans. Don't depend or rely on those long-term plans sort of working out for you. And don't, so therefore maybe you can revise them or revisit these long-term plans that you have made, maybe at a later date, or if you feel that way inclined, you can do it right now. But make slow and steady strides forward and things will start to make sense for you. Now you have to again reinterpret, look at these images. Yes, the emotional guidance comes through. Yes, maybe a little bit of the financial guidance comes through. Energy guidance comes through. For you, this is what you need to do. But if you want to again look at each of these cards, because again, you're unveiling layers as you go. So you have received emotional, a little bit of financial guidance, but your question was very specifically about financial guidance, how to get back on track financially. So here you have received the emotional guidance, but let's look deeper. Financially, the cards, from the financial angle, you have all these feelings cards here. So your feelings, your emotions, this could also be your creative vibe, right? So if even as emotionally you are, going through this, you can maybe channelize these emotions and these feelings and these fears into maybe the creative angle. Okay, because moon is also the seat of creativity. So instead of allowing this sort of, overwhelm of feelings to get to you, why don't you try channeling this into something creative, right? This is a slow and steady move forward. But whatever you do creatively, don't, again, this is, long term planning is not advised. So whatever you do, let's say there is a hobby, let's say there is something that you are really good at, some kind of creative situation that you really enjoy doing. How about for the time being you convert that into a money making enterprise? You will see good results. Okay, but again, don't make it like a long term thing. Don't think that, oh, I'm good with, say, many people are turning their sewing skills into a mask making business these days. But then again, once COVID is over, people might not have so much demand for masks. So don't really think of this as a long term thing. So if, let's say, this is again an example, if you are good with your sewing and you've got a whole bunch of fabric lying around, a little piece of fabric, maybe you could start making those masks and selling them. And you that could help you. But again, it's not a long term idea. It is something for the short term that might keep you going, and it will go well. So this is kind of short term what the cards are advising you. So take your, turn your emotions to a more creative angle. And from there, try and see if you can slow and steady make your move forward, which will again be profitable. Bear in mind, it's not going to be a long term situation. See? Now, again, what we have done here is we have unveiled the layers. We have allowed our intuition to guide us. We have allowed our intuition to guide us how? Depends, on how many cards to pull. We have allowed our intuition to tell us how to lay the spread, where to put which card. And there is no specific card position. So we have just allowed that shape to dictate to us the connections. And we have, we just saw the interpretation for what it was. And then we also saw within the context of the question how that interpretation, made a little twist in the tail there, and we got the guidance, we got the support, and we got the advice that we were looking for. So today, if this person is going through a financial tough time and wants to figure out what to do next, you know what to do next, right? A path has been presented to you, right? That was just one example. You know me, I don't stop with just one example, do I? Nope, nope, nope. But see, this was the example for COVID. But oops, sorry. But there are other difficult situations that we go through. Oh, okay. Let's say you went through some sort of a relationship issue. Again, now I'm not going to say, okay, this is only for a breakup or this is only for a fight. Let's just say relationship issue. Okay, because that can also be a difficult situation that people go through. So, all right, I think I've shuffled enough. Okay, so again, you can, form your question or form your intention whilst you're shuffling, or after shuffling, you can hold the cards in your hand and set your question and intention. And basically, just ask the cards this question: my relationship is going through a rough patch. Guide me on how I can make it better. Again, follow your intuition. Pull the card and lay them again the way you feel like laying them. So this is how I've felt like laying them. Okay. So now we're going to unveil the layers, yes, but I'm going to again, use this same spread, and we are going to see if it's just a tough patch or if it's a break, like after a breakup, how you would interpret this, or after a tough patch. So let's start with tough patch, right? You're going through a really tough patch in your relationship and you're asking the cards for guidance. So let's open this up. 10 of Cups reversed, 5 of Wands reversed, King of Wands reversed, High Priestess reversed. Wow. First, right off the bat, what strikes you? All cards are reversed. So there's a lot of stuckness here. Where exactly do you see the stuckness? You have the cups, you have the High Priestess. This is all water here. Emotions, first of all. And then you have the 2 wands, which is fire, passion. So there is stuckness in 2 major areas. You have emotions and you have the passions, and that's where all the energy is getting all stuck. Right. So this is just like a bird's eye view. So let's go a little bit deeper. The 10 of Cups reversed. So there is definitely an emotional disconnect between you and your significant other, right? The High Priestess reverse talks about, lies and manipulations or deceitful situations. So it could be either your partner or you are, not necessarily being truthful with each other, or basically, or you could be telling each other some kind of untruths. And there's a lot of that manipulative energy at play, because that's the major arcana here. So I would say that throws a lot of light shade on the whole spread. Then right here we have these 2 cards. We have the 5 of Wands reversed, and we have the King of Wands also reversed. Now if you look at this 5 of Wands, it's a very telling card. This is all about conflict, right? Who gets the big stick kind of a thing, right? And that conflict is all over the place. And yes, it is reversed. So you're as you're trying to come out of this conflict, it's basically who is the winner, who gets the upper hand. And in order to deal with that, your King of Wands also becomes reversed here, right? So this King of Wands is usually a very straightforward, very forward looking, very positive individual. And if we were to take it as either one of the 2 people involved in the relationship, or it could be even the relationship itself, so it's taking a toll on this relationship. So what's going on? You have an emotional disconnect, probably fueled by some sort of lying or deceitful situation or manipulative situation, right? Essentially, it's all about who gets the upper hand, and that is putting a strain on the relationship. Now, right off the bat, you have received a picture of what's going on. But the question you asked, remember, is how do you cope with this? And the answer is fairly straightforward. Guess what it is? All these cards are reversed. You have to make them upright. Okay? You have to change the story. You can even selectively choose which cards to make upright, because these reverse cards are telling you exactly what the problem is, and they are also telling you, just remember that one spread, or rather I would say that one video I said where I said, sometimes problem cards also contain their solution in them, and that is the solution has been presented to you. You need to emotionally reconnect with your partner. Stop doing this lying, cheating, manipulating business, right? There is no need to really fight for the upper hand. You both are equal, and that will pull, having that attitude will then resurrect this reversed King of Wands, and your relationship will sort of get back on track, and there will be, your passion and everything, connection will sort of re-emerge, right? You get what you get you understand how I'm interpreting this. Now, this, like I said, this is one angle when the relationship is just going through a tough patch, and your client wants to know how to cope. But let's say the breakup has already happened. How would you interpret this? The breakup has already happened, and maybe the cause of that breakup was the lying, the cheating, the manipulating. There was a lot of that going on. There was always a conflict about who gets the upper hand, and essentially your client or maybe their partner just gave up the ghost and they're like, you know what, I can't deal with this, I'm done, bye. Right? So the breakup has happened. How? Now, again, with the same, now different angle, we are looking at the same spread, and how will your client cope with this, right? She has to heal from this emotional disconnect and she has to reconnect with her true inner self. She maybe is also lying to herself, saying, oh, he will come back or she will come back. No, it's not going to happen. There is not going to be any sort of reconciliation. You go back, you're going to fall back on the same patterns. Okay? Because see, now you'll say, Madhvi, how did you say that? Because previously you said they will reconnect and all that. It's not a prediction. This is more guidance. Okay? And coming from a totally different angle, the meaning has shifted. Okay? So follow your intuition here. Follow your intuition, what it says to you when you look at it from a different angle. So stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself that things are going to work out. This relationship is over. But here you're going to see, you can recognize what the patterns were that caused this relationship to be over. And maybe you need to really, you're not understanding the lesson and you need to really understand that lesson. And once you do, this conflict will get resolved, and you will also find a way to come out of this space and feel more positive and focused, and maybe the next relationship you will not make this mistake, and things will get better for you. How's that for an interpretation? Okay, so again, this second spread was interpreted from two different angles, and for a relationship situation, right? And the first one was for the COVID situation. So, what do you guys think of this? And again, try this, not specifically this spread, but okay, maybe this spread, whatever. Try this method is what I was gonna actually sort of say, right? When you ask the cards your question, just intuitively hold that question and ask the cards that question. And when you make the fan or whatever your style of pulling cards, you just start pulling from the first top or just random cards, whatever it is. Just pull as many cards as you feel like pulling. Okay, don't go wild, but don't like pull 20 cards or whatever, but just uh, stop when you feel okay, yeah, that's enough. And just if you feel like you want to lay them out in a particular way, go for it. Or if you feel you just want them in a straight line, or one, 3 3 3, whatever layout comes to mind, just lay it out in that way, and then open them and start reading them. Just see what the connections are and see what interpretations come, right? And again, layer by layer, layer by layer. If there is a big pattern you see, like all reversed cards or a lot of reversed cards, go from the top to the down, like bird's eye view to macro to micro, just and unravel the layers and see what the guidance is, see what they are trying to tell you. And in this manner you can basically very intuitively connect with your cards, right? You don't need a spread per se. You don't need I mean, if you have a specific spread, lovely, maybe you could share it with me, and I can maybe in my next video I can do more example spreads like that. But if you don't have a spread, don't fret. You have a very simple, very clear question. This is my situation, how do I want to cope? How, guide me, tell me, show me how I cope with, how do I cope with this? That's your question. And you just lay the cards in a way you feel like, and you see the connections forming, and it's beautiful, and it makes sense. So go from the macro to the micro, bird's eye view to the street view. And then as you open up all the layers, you will see a lot of clarity coming in, a lot of and again, be very intuitive, open your heart and mind, and just listen to what they are saying to you, what the images are saying to you, what the cards are saying to you, and just go with this, right? Any last minute advice or anything? Let me see what the cards say now. See, Page of Swords. Don't confuse yourself with too many things, especially when your mind comes into play. You're going to confuse yourself, so put your mind aside. Two of Swords, right? Listen to your intuition. And because each spread or each card has multiple interpretations, so which one you want to choose? Listen to your intuition, your inner voice, right? And Ace of Cups. No matter what you do, your heart, your soul, your joy, your happiness is always going to be inside of you. You are the source of your happiness. Never forget that. Don't allow other people to become that source of happiness, because once, if they go away, then you're left in the lurch, right? You are always the source of your happiness. And when you find your own center for joy, happiness, and peace, everything will be perfect. Yes, people will come, people will leave your life. It will be happy, it will be sad. There may be confusing times. Life is always going to be that way. But always remember that the source of your joy is always inside of you. And once you have reached that, once you kind of go there, then all these external things are just external things, and and they can't affect you so severely. I mean, life will always happen, like I said, but and you will cope with it, you will deal with it. Put your mind aside, listen to your intuition, right? You will cope with it, you will deal with it, but you won't lose your center and your grounding. Wow. So this is the message that the cards have for you guys. Wow. Okay. This is intriguing, isn't it? So, if you like this video, so what did you think of this? What did you think of this spread and this reading style, right? Let me know in the comments, and also what you thought of the interpretations. Of course, very honestly, you might have different interpretations, and that is just fine, because that means your intuition is talking to you, differently, which is great, which is perfect. That's how tarot works. So if you have a different interpretation, just totally share it with me. I would love to see what interpretations you guys come up with. And of course, thank you so much for sticking around till the end of this video, listening to me babble and talk and interpret the cards. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That encourages me so much. You guys have no idea. I just love it when you guys like my videos and talk to me and tell me what you thought of it. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. I make these kind of videos, and I do deck reviews, and I do monthly prediction videos. Again, it is even in those monthly prediction videos and all, whenever I do anything to do with, where I'm reading cards, I always take that as an opportunity where I'm maybe teaching, so it's just lovely. I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy it. And if you like this whole storytelling style of reading, then you definitely should go check out my book on Amazon. It's called Tarot Reading Using Storytelling Techniques. The link is in the description. Go check it out. And of course, if you are interested in learning tarot, right, and you're totally doing a lot of self-study during this COVID, stuck at home, I appreciate that. I'm doing that too. I have a wonderful resource that I have created for you guys, and there's a special COVID sale going on, so you can totally grab it. And the price is 50% off, right? Come on. That one is on my website. It's called the Tarot Keywords Reference Guide, that has a list of the card meanings and under all different contexts, work, relationship, advice, spiritual, upright and reverse. And it also has, in that all the different symbols on the cards and what they mean. And so I have this big table for each card, one page, just all the cards of the Rider-Waite. So that kind of does apply to many of the other decks as well. It's helpful because many decks are Rider-Waite clones in a way, so it will definitely help you. And so go check it out, right? And though that's a PDF download, both portrait and landscape. So whatever works for you, you can print it out, you can digitally annotate it, go wild. Okay, enough self promotion. I All the links are in the description. Please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on all my other social media because I do card day readings over there. And yep, all in all, I guess I will see you again in the next video. Until then, stay good, be good, play with your cards. Ace of Cups. Remember that. You are the source of your joy. Hmm? Okay. Bye for now.